Hello everyone.
So this is Adam and Brooke from Imaginary Lemons, and today we are in Canada.
Yes, we just left port and we're heading to Alaska.
We just got dropped off in a parking garage
Yes.
by the cab that picked us up. It was an accessible cab. That was fine.
Two levels down.
Yeah, so we're on the second level parking garage, and now we're going to figure out where we go. This is also where people are dropping off their luggage if they are
Getting on the ship.
Getting on the ship and didn't have it, a transfer. So here we go.
From the moment we arrived at the port, it really felt like we weren't supposed to be there. There's a lot of underground and twists and turns and elevators and long hallways, and my best advice is to just keep moving forward, and every time you see an employee, ask them where to go next. They were all very nice, but it is super confusing figuring out where you're supposed to go when you arrive at this port.
Are you recording? Never mind.
Now I am. You ready, Adam?
Ready. Hello.
It very much smells like a port. This is very downhill, so take your time. If you don't have trunk
Hello.
control, this is a good time for a seatbelt. Hello. And if you're me, concentrate on not falling.
We're about to get on a ship. This is slightly different, but the ramp coming down was not as bad. Thank you.
Adam was trying to give a peace sign here. Didn't quite turn out that way.
So we just got into the room, and this is the view, like literally outside of the ship. You could probably throw a fishing line out there and catch a person. It's that close. And so, hey, who's that?
I'm over here.
This is the Aft Balcony, and it is pretty large. Very large, which I think I'm a fan of going to try to get aft balconies all the time now, as it's just so much space. I don't think there's any other port that is like this, where it's like literally the non-cruising people are like right there, that close.
Sorry if the camera's shaking, but the boat is shaking, and so therefore we're shaking.
Yes.
But we are very excited to go on this 7th-day journey.
Yes.
We will go see the glaciers. We will have stops in
Juneau,
Ketchikan, and Icy Strait Point. We will be paying special attention to the accessibility features,
Yes,
and
yes.
we're going to be going on some excursions, or at least we hope to go on some excursions.
We got a letter in our stateroom saying they want us to come down to the Port of Entry's desk to make sure they meet our needs. So in a little while, we're going to go do that to make sure that everything's all only up and up.
Right, so we pre-booked some excursions knowing and looking at what they said about accessibility. There's
Right.
one that's a little iffy, and we knew it. And so we're going to go down and talk to them about what our plan is and see if that'll work.
So as you see, some of them have some great views in the background of the mountains, and it's stunning out here. It's
Absolutely.
very nice. So come along with us as you take us on our journey. I'm trying to safely stand so get some of these shots. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. We are really headed out now. We left about 15 minutes ago, I think. So as you see our wake right there, we are starting to move. Some of the mountains look just amazing. This part of the world, upper, I guess, Vancouver and Alaska, we hope to get really, really good views and vistas. Even though we're looking at a refinery, I don't know what that is, but beyond that, looks pretty great.
So as far as excursions on this trip, we have booked a few. The first excursion we've booked is for Glacier Day, and we booked the Glacier Explorer. This is a tender boat, essentially, that comes up to the boat and you transfer boat to boat, which can be very tricky if you have mobility challenges, which we're well aware. So and on this excursion, it says that you have to be able to walk onto the boat and no wheelchairs are allowed. So we brought his rollator, and Adam has been working in physical therapy with his therapist, and we showed them the ramp and we showed them what he wanted to be able to do, and the physical therapist felt like Adam could do it safely. He gave me some tips. He wants me to, because Adam is semi-ambulatory. He has balance issues and a lot of like spasms, which make it really hard to move, but he can stand up and without, like, he can put one foot in front of the other. He's just like a huge fall risk. So what they're going to have me do, what the physical therapist suggested is that we bring his rollator so that he has a seat that he can use, because he usually uses a regular walker, but we want a seat. So he'll have the rollator, and I should go, because it's going downhill, I should be going down in front of him. And if we can find somebody who can just sort of be behind him in case he needs somebody to, like, help balance him. But most of the risk is the forward, right? Because it's a ramp. So I will be in front of him. I'm going to ask for extra time. Like when we go down to guest services, or the port excursions, I'm going to ask them if we can be granted extra time to get on the boat. Like maybe they put us on first or last or something, so that we can take our time down that ramp. And I think he'll be able to do it. So this is something we've really wanted to do. And the way that the glacier boats work, the first level, it appears, based on all my online research, so I haven't actually done it yet, it looks like the first level is sort of all enclosed, and then to go on the outside areas, you have to go upstairs. So he's not going to be able to do that. But because it's all enclosed, he's not going to have like people out on the outside blocking him in if he wants to, as he's sitting on the inside. So we think it's going to work, and we're pretty excited about that. I mean, I'm anxious about it, let's be fair, but we're excited. The other excursions are more accessible. In Icy Strait Point, we booked a bus tour of Juneau, which is the town that Icy Strait Point is within. Icy Strait Point is a port. So that's the name of the port. It's in the town of Juneau. And so we want to do like a cultural tour and go see, learn about Juneau. And then there's also a whale watching cruise. Now this one, the bus tour, fully accessible. The whale cruise, they say that they can only take manual wheelchairs. So we brought his, and I may end up having to push him a very long way. We brought a manual chair. We bought his rollator. Like when I tell you we overpacked, holy cow, did we overpack. But we brought his rollator and his manual wheelchair. They're in a bag over there. And I bought a box of bungee cords, and we're just going to see if we can bungee it. And then hopefully we can stash his power wheelchair somewhere in Icy Strait Point so that, there's a bridge. I'm sure Adam's getting footage of this bridge right now, so I'll put it over. Passing under a bridge reminds me of the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Adam and I got married on the Carnival Pride, and one of the best wedding pictures we have is we're on the cruise ship, and the bridge is going over our heads, and so you can see the bridge in the background, and that like hangs up in our house. And so every time I go by it now, it's like, oh, Key Bridge, and it was tragic, and unfortunately it wasn't a mass casualty, but still people died, and it was terrible. I digress.
If we had time, this would be a great place to explore, because it's like those houses that are like just basically built on the side of the mountain, and they're like stacked. or I don't know what the word is, terraced, but it looked just so amazing. And as we see, go back this way, hopefully you guys can see that. My arm is getting tired, so it's kind of hard to lift it up, but yeah. But looking at all this, looks pretty good.
2 hours later.
Hello.
Good evening.
So after we spent quite some time enjoying this lovely balcony,
Yes.
and then a lot of time unpacking, because apparently when you overpack, it then takes a lot longer to unpack.
Yeah, it does.
So,
You bring things that you think you may need, even though people say don't overpack, you don't need a lot. But no, I think you should overpack all the time.
all the time.
Most of the times.
Okay, trying to get this there. And you can see there's mountains in the back. Like, it's really pretty here.
Yeah.
Even it's like kind of cloudy, and it's still really pretty. So we are about to go to the port excursions desk because we got a note saying that we got 2 notes saying that they wanted to talk to us because we reserved some excursions, and they noticed that we also have a wheelchair, and they wanted to make sure that
everything was set.
It's going to work out. So I assume this is about the Glacier Explorer because we know that you have to be able to walk onto the boat, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll go see what they want. We're going to go check out the shops because I want to see if I can get a Mickey and a Minnie in Alaska. And
we should be able to find one. Today's day 1. Hopefully it's not sold out of day 1. That would be really bad.
So I've heard that they restock overnight. So I was like, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to go ahead and relax and unpack and stuff to like set ourselves up. Okay. And then we're going to, so we'll see if there's anything left tonight. And if not, we'll go back tomorrow. And so port excursions, the shopping, and then we have dinner at 8:15 at Triton's. What's interesting, and I don't know how frequently this happens. Every time we've done a 7-day sailing before, which I guess this is our third 7-day.
Yeah.
And the restaurants always went in order. So like restaurant 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 again, and then back to 1 for 7 days. This one is hopping all over the place. So, because I tried to be smart and ask for a rotation that had Animator's Palette on day 2, because we're going to Palo, and then thinking like, oh, that means we'll only have to go to Animator's Palette once. No, that we're still now. The new rotation has a Triton's today, Animator's Palette 3 times, and then the others twice.
If you don't know about the Animator's Palette thing,
we'll link to the video of why I hate it. But I don't hate it as much on the Magic and Wonder, so there's that. I'll suck it up. But I thought I was going to get out at just one time, but all right, we're fine. So I got tricked because we were starting an Animator's Palette, and I was like, oh no, that means 3 times. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I would have only had, I don't know. Anyway, I would have gone twice anyway. So here we are.
Yes.
So we're gonna go
do that,
and we'll take you along when it makes sense, and otherwise we will recap at the end of the day.
Okay.
For dinner, we went to Triton's, and the menu was pretty decent. Even with my food allergies and not being able to pre-order because it was the first day, I was able to find things that I could eat. Feel free to pause the menu here so that you can check out the things that were available. I think our assistant server was new because he got pretty paranoid about my allergies, but as the sailing went on, he calmed down and got the hang of it.
This is my 5th cruise on Disney, and I have never seen them serve the bread in the bag.
For my dinner, I ended up getting this tomato and mozzarella salad. And then I got the beef with lobster medallions, which normally comes with peas, but they let me switch it out for broccoli because I'm allergic. As for Adam, he got
Twice baked souffle. This is the pancetta pasta and asparagus.
Later.
When we got back to the room, we were beyond tired, so much so that we could barely put 2 sentences together. So be sure to join us for the next video in the series, which will be about our sea day, and we'll talk about some things that happened today.